Hey everyone, so if you've got a four-legged family member at home, what we're about to cover is absolutely critical. We're going to break down all those common human foods that are, believe it or not, incredibly dangerous for our dogs.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You're trying to enjoy your dinner, and then you feel it, that intense stare. You look down, and there they are, with those heart-melting eyes, just begging for a little piece of whatever you've got. It happens in pretty much every dog owner's home.
And it's so tempting to share. It feels like you're showing them love. But the thing is, you could accidentally be doing some serious harm. So what we're going to cover isn't just some random list of bad foods. This is essential, need-to-know info to keep your best friends safe and healthy.
All right, let's kick things off with a category that seems so innocent: sweet treats. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good snack? But some of the stuff you probably have in your pantry right this second can pose a huge threat to your dog.
So in this first part, we're going to tackle three major offenders. We've got the classic one everyone knows about, chocolate, a super sneaky sweetener called xylitol, and one type of nut you have to avoid at all costs.
Okay, so pretty much everyone has heard that chocolate is a big no-no for dogs. But why? Well, it's all about a compound called theobromine. We humans process it just fine, but for dogs, it's toxic and builds up in their system. And here's the key. The darker and more bitter the chocolate, the more dangerous it is. That makes baking chocolate and dark chocolate public enemy number one. Now, that doesn't mean milk chocolate or white chocolate get a pass. There's still a risk, just a less concentrated one.
Now let's talk about xylitol. This one is really, really insidious because it's not even sugar. It's a sugar substitute that's perfectly fine for people, but for dogs, it's incredibly toxic. See, their bodies can't tell the difference and mistake it for real sugar, which triggers this massive, catastrophic release of insulin. That causes their blood sugar to crash and can lead to severe liver failure fast.
So where is this stuff hiding? Well, that's the scary part. It's in a lot of things. We're talking sugar-free gum, candy, toothpaste, some baked goods, and even certain brands of peanut butter, which so many of us use as a treat. The takeaway here is non-negotiable. You have to get in the habit of reading the ingredients on anything labeled sugar-free before you even think about giving it to your dog.
And to wrap up this section, let's talk macadamia nuts. This one's pretty straightforward. Unlike some other foods where a tiny bit might be okay, with macadamia nuts, even a very small amount can cause a really bad reaction. We're talking weakness, especially in their back legs, vomiting, tremors, the whole deal. The rule here is super simple: 0 macadamia nuts. Ever.
Okay, let's move from the snack cupboard over to the kitchen counter. We're now looking at things that are probably staples in your everyday cooking, stuff you chop up and use all the time without even thinking about it.
We're talking about a whole family of plants, actually, the allium family. This, of course, includes the two big ones you'd expect, onions and garlic, but it also includes their relatives like chives and leeks. The same toxic principle applies to all of them.
There are two really important things to get from this. First, it doesn't matter what form they're in, raw, cooked, even the powdered stuff in your spice rack, it's all toxic. And second, while all of them can damage a dog's red blood cells and lead to anemia, you need to know that garlic is about 5 times more potent than onions. So that little shake of garlic powder you put in your sauce could be really, really dangerous if your dog licks the plate.
All right, so we've hit the pantry, we've hit the veggie drawer, but what about that healthy bowl of fruit on the counter? That has to be safe, right? Well, you'd be surprised. What's considered a superfood for us can be a super threat for our dogs.
And this right here is probably one of the most frightening warnings on our list: grapes. And of course, their dried form, raisins, can cause sudden and irreversible kidney failure in dogs. Scientists still don't know the exact reason why, but the outcome can be absolutely devastating.
And here's what makes it so terrifying. The toxicity is completely unpredictable. Some dogs might eat a few and be fine, but for another dog, a single grape can be enough to trigger kidney failure. When the stakes are that high, there's just no room for error. The only safe number is 0.
So, knowing all these dangers is step one, and it's a huge step. But being prepared for an accident is just as important. So let's shift gears and talk about exactly what you should do if you think your dog has eaten something they shouldn't have. In these situations, every second counts. The very first thing you do before anything else is call your vet or a pet poison helpline. Have the information ready. What did they eat, about how much of it, and when did it happen? And this last part is crucial. Do not, under any circumstances, try to make your dog vomit unless a vet specifically tells you to. You can cause way more harm than good.
Let the professionals guide you.
You know, when it all comes down to it, the best emergency plan is just good old-fashioned prevention. Your awareness, your vigilance, that's what's really going to protect your dog. It's about making sure these foods are always locked away or kept completely out of reach.
We've gone through a lot here, from the chocolate in your candy drawer to the grapes on your counter. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Knowing what you know now, what's one small change you can make, starting today, to make your home a safer place for your best friend?